This week we read Parshat Lech Lecha. Our reading of Abraham is readily contrasted with last week's reading of the story of Noah. Noah built his ark to save himself and his family, as Hashem had commanded. He did not, however, plead for the lives of a single other soul. Abraham, by contrast, challenged Hashem to redeem the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah. Should not the God of justice do what is just? Noah, we are told, walked with Hashem, a toddler, if you will, accompanying him on his way. Abraham, by contrast, walks before Hashem. Abraham was a standard bearer for monotheism. He ran ahead, and he spread the good word. When Noah boards the ark before the flood, he has a family with him that he can see will build the future of mankind. There is meaning in Hashem's promise that a world of life will begin again with Noah and his children. Abraham spends years of journey and passes several tests in the promise of a future, but he has no children. It's years into his wanderings till Isaac is born, and we're left wondering who will be a child of Abraham. We talk about a ben Noach and a ben Avraham Avinu. A ben Noach, a son or daughter of Noah, is anyone. We are all of us descended from the sole surviving family of the flood, and are all bound by the covenant of the Bnei Noach, the core moral values not to steal or murder or rape, not worship idols, blaspheme, nor treat animals with cruelty, to set up courts. Civilized humanity is a ben Noach. The covenant of Avraham Avinu includes every Jewish child. It's used with specific reference to Brit Milah. It's the covenant that says, "My way is the way of Hashem. My journey is the fulfillment of Hashem's ancient promise." We dedicate our children, our future to Hashem, just as Abraham committed his yet unborn generations. A ben Avraham Avinu, too, is the name of honor given to someone who converts, uprooting themselves from the way they were raised, just like Abraham himself, someone who makes that journey from being bound by the 7 laws of Noah to the 613 mitzvot of the Torah. Noah just gathered what he needed into the ark. He did nothing more. He didn't encourage others to hop on board. He didn't even give them the blueprints to build arks of their own. Noah floated on the surface of the flood without relating to the devastation below him. He didn't worry about others. He knew his family was secure. Abraham, by contrast, radiated hospitality. He invited others in, tried to influence them to the better. He sought to bring people closer to Hashem through education and through simple socializing. He brought people with him, and thus he secured his message for the future. Noah is remembered for surviving the flood. Abraham is cherished to this day as a builder of faiths, and a founder, a father of nations. Any community or society can too easily be a Noah, just looking after its members, drifting wherever they take it, content to be righteous for their peers in their generation, a model that people can follow if they choose, but not one that reaches out. But a Jewish community, indeed any ideal community, ought to be an Abraham. We should welcome in those who are close and reach out to those who are remote. We should be sensitive to those with more modest means and less advantage or privilege. There are people drowning in debt, and we can help them stay afloat, retaining dignity and hope. Like Abraham, our identity must be an attraction and not a source of detraction. We must radiate a Jewish life that people will want to emulate because they see its beauty. We learn from Abraham that it is once we set about bringing Hashem's blessing to God's children, then Hashem blesses us and our children with the blessing of Abraham, Avraham, our parent. Wishing you and all your families Shabbat Shalom and good health.